Demolition Man is a villain you probably haven't heard of. I mean, his first appearance was in a Thing comic. Yes, the Thing from Fantastic Four. And yes, the Thing had his own run of comics. I haven't read it, so I can't tell you what the Thing is doing in those comics. All I know is that Demolition Man first appeared in there. You know, for a guy with demolition in his name, I fully expected this guy to have the explosive ability, but really, his main thing is super strength. I should also mention that he was in a wrestling match with the Thing in his first appearance, so this makes sense. Demolition Man has 4 abilities in this game: regenerative health, agility, cracked wall, and of course, as I've said, strength. It goes without saying that this guy is a strange choice for the game. I mean, like I said, he started out in a Thing comic. Granted, he later went on to work for the Power Broker and thereby became a Captain America villain, but I mean, still. We go from one strong man directly to a cooler, probably stronger man. It's Luke Cage, otherwise known as Power Man, but his real name actually sounds cooler than his superhero alias, so he's stuck with Luke Cage, I guess. I don't blame him. What's funny about this guy is, though he's named Luke Cage, he has his Power Man outfit from the Lego Spider-Man set he appeared in a few years prior to this game's release. Also funny, that Power Man is from the Spider-Man cartoon at the time, who is a 16-year-old. So this Luke Cage, who I can only assume to be an adult in this game, is presented as a minifigure that's supposed to be only 16. Anyway, Luke Cage first appeared in the first season of Jessica Jones, which came out in November 15, merely 2 months before the release of this game. Regardless, I'm putting Luke Cage on the MCU edition list because a 2-month window is trivial, and Luke Cage was probably planned for the roster before this point anyway. Luke Cage's 4 abilities are the same as Demolition Man, just switch out Demolition Man's agility for fire, gas, and toxin immunity. So Luke Cage has that, cracked wall strength, and regenerative health. This is the Janet Van Dyne Wasp, aka the one Michelle Pfeiffer plays in Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. This version of the Wasp was in the Ant-Man DLC pack, even though we technically don't see Michelle Pfeiffer as the Wasp in the first Ant-Man movie. We saw the Wasp in a flashback scene in that movie, and the Wasp in that scene is what this variant of the Wasp is based off of. But we don't get an actual look at the Wasp's face under the helmet. Nevertheless, here she is. The Wasp has generally the same moveset as Ant-Man, but with 2 major changes. Firstly, she has flight. She shrinks whenever you go to fly, and you can shoot those plasma balls. However, for some reason, the Wasp can't shrink on the ground. Because of this, she sacrifices her size and stealth abilities. I mentioned those Ant-Man entry spots that are specific to the Ant-Man DLC level. I originally thought the Wasp could also interact with those, but turns out she can't, because she can't shrink on the ground, only automatically when she flies. This is the variant of the Wasp that's in the base game. The classic variant, also the one you see in the comics. I ranked this Wasp over the Janet Van Dyne version from the Ant-Man DLC simply because I'm a sucker for the classic variants. I grew up with these variants, and seeing them in Lego form is, kinda nice to see. Anyway, I talked a lot about flight in the last segment, but I didn't mention her 2 other abilities. The Wasp is a smart lady, so you'd expect the technology and maybe repair abilities, right? Wrong. She doesn't have them. For whatever reason. No, she has agility and great, as well as flight. Agility is standard for women characters for some reason, and Wasp's ability to shrink naturally makes sense for the great ability. But speaking of the MCU, the Wasp and Ant-Man were originally planned to be in the first Avengers movie, and I always wondered what the MCU would be like today if that happened. Edgar Wright was the head of the Ant-Man movie since before the MCU even started, and I think Ant-Man and the Wasp could have played big roles in the Avengers movie, and not just an afterthought in their own little MCU bubble like they are right now. Dr. Helen Cho appeared in one MCU movie, that being Avengers Age of Ultron. Her main contribution is getting under the control of Ultron and creating a new body for him, which would then become Vision. We're entering the portion of the list where characters may not seem that important, but they have a lot of abilities under their belt. That's why it probably seems weird that Dr. Helen Cho here, a side character from one movie with no powers, is ranked over the Wasp, one of, the core Avengers in the comics. It's weird, but trust me. Dr. Helen Cho has 4 abilities, and they're all used quite a bit. Firstly, she has agility, because a world-renowned geneticist must be able to do flips and pole twirls. She has technology and scan, which make total sense, seeing as she leads a research group, but her last ability, shield. What? She doesn't work for shield? She helped Hawkeye with his injuries and later went to work at Avengers Compound after the events of Age of Ultron, but the Avengers were operating separately from shield at this point, since shield was already compromised by Hydra. Whatever, who am I to reject Dr. Helen Cho from having shield access? We just went over this character's mother, Janet Van Dyne, and now we get to go over the daughter and main female lead of the MCU Ant-Man film, Hope Van Dyne. Now, this game came out before the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, so we don't get to see Hope in her cool form, in the suit. No, this is just her in regular clothing. However, she's got a good amount of abilities under her belt that make her useful. Her abilities, as I'm about to reveal them, may feel a bit lame, but it's better for me because I have to say less. Hope Van Dyne's 4 abilities are the exact same 4 that Dr. Helen Cho has, the character we just covered. So Hope Van Dyne has scan, agility, technology, and shield. At the very least, it makes more sense for Hope Van Dyne to have these abilities over Dr. Helen Cho. Hope's pretty smart, and at least we know for sure that Hope is agile. However, Hope Van Dyne was never a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., so why she has that ability is beyond me. Agent Bobby Morse, if you don't know, is called Mockingbird in the comics and is Hawkeye's wife. Bobby Morse was one of the main agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. during the 2nd season of the show, and this specific character is another part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. DLC. Bobby Morse eventually made her way off the show since the game's release, but here she is regardless. Here's yet another kicker. Agent Bobby Morse here has the same 4 abilities as, you guessed it, Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Helen Cho. Agility, scan, technology, and shield. The reason why I ranked Agent Bobby Morse over Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Helen Cho is mostly because out of the 3, Agent Bobby Morse is the only one whose abilities make sense entirely. Cho is smart, but probably not agile and not a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hope is agile and smart, but not a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Bobby Morse, however, is definitely agile, definitely a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., and has access to S.H.I.E.L.D. equipment to perform scans and probably can access tech panels through S.H.I.E.L.D. training or something. I don't know. Tiny bit of stretching, but nowhere near as much stretching as one would have to do for Hope and Cho. Now, if you played this game thoroughly enough to unlock every character on the helicarrier, when I said that Bobby Morse is called Mockingbird in the comics, you might have said to yourself, hey, Mockingbird is in this game, and she's unlocked in the helicarrier. In which case, yes, you're right. It's probably why her name is Agent Bobby Morse in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. DLC, and not Mockingbird. Also, when I said that Mockingbird is Hawkeye's wife in the comics, you might have said, hey, Laura Barton is Hawkeye's wife in the MCU, not Mockingbird, in which case, you are right with that as well. This is spoilers for the Hawkeye show on Disney+. Be warned, skip this segment if you don't want to be spoiled. Her abilities are the same as the last 3 characters anyway. Anyway, spoiler time. At the very end, Hawkeye gave Laura Barton a watch that he recovered, which had a S.H.I.E.L.D. symbol on it. We don't know yet what this exactly means, but we know that Laura Barton was most likely a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in the past, and she might be the MCU's official version of Mockingbird. If that's the case, then that will render Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. entirely not canon. At least all of the events where Bobby Morse showed up and after she left. That means only Season 1 would be canon. And honestly, that would be fine for me, since that's before the show got ridiculous. But as I've mentioned, Mockingbird here has the same 4 abilities as her Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. counterpart, so I have nothing left to say about her. Nick Fury's right-hand man, woman, I'm sorry. It's Maria Hill, and she shows up quite a bit in these Avengers movies. Well, the first 2, then in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for an episode, then the post-credit scene for Infinity War, then Spider-Man Far From Home as a Skrull, and then not since. Maria Hill served her purpose as Nick Fury's trusted sidekick, but like Nick Fury, they don't have much purpose anymore. It may be a hot take, but Nick Fury is on a Skrull spaceship? Okay, I don't care. Where's Maria Hill at then, if not the Skrull spaceship? I mean, whatever. In terms of this game, I vastly underestimated the amount of female characters with the 4 abilities of Scan, Agility, Shield, and Technology, because Maria Hill and her other variant both have those 4 abilities. This is the Age of Ultron variant where she's wearing, I don't know, some kind of tracksuit. This is one of the rare times when I ranked the Age of Ultron variant under the first Avengers variant. It's usually a design upgrade with the Age of Ultron variant, but then again, this is just Maria Hill, not one of the main Avengers. So like I said, this is the variant of Maria Hill that corresponds to the first Avengers film. I like this one over the Age of Ultron variant because, what can I say, the classic SHIELD uniform just looks better than Age of Ultron Maria Hill's whatever kind of outfit this is. I don't know fashion. It looks like she's going to go on a jog or something. Anyway, it goes without saying that aside from the outfit, this Maria Hill has the same 4 abilities as the Age of Ultron Maria Hill, and Mockingbird, and the billion of other characters I just went over with these same abilities. Something I want to talk about is Maria Hill's little monologues before the levels. While the level loads, Maria Hill comes in to do a brief on the situation at hand. It sounds like they got Kobe Smulders to come in and do the lines, and is the most phoned-in voice acting I think I've ever heard.
It's going to take more than well-timed one-liners and Hulk-outs to bring down the rest of those giant alien creatures. If we want to have any chance of closing that portal and defeating Loki, you'll need to work together and assemble as Avengers. Hey, maybe that could be worked into a catchphrase. Good luck, team.
It's not bad. I've definitely heard worse, but you can just tell that Kobe Smulders does not care at all and is doing it for the quick paycheck. I can't blame her though. I respect the hustle.